Hey guys, what is up? It is me, Pagey, here once again with another video on Stargirl Season 2. So Stargirl was the last DC TV show connected to the Arrowverse. Technically it's not in the Arrowverse, but it's, connected to the Arrowverse. To wrap, this past season, as it of course started last, obviously. But it looks like it will also be the last one to start filming for its next season, of course that being Season 2. Now we have had some information about Season 2 come out, but it has been more like, jumping on or detailing more the stuff we saw at the end of Season 1, like the setup and the various cliffhangers. But over the past week, thanks to our good old DC fandom and some other stuff, we have some, more stuff to talk about. But of course, throughout the video, let me know your theories around this, any suggestions you have, because I'm sure, 2 or 3 of these things, you might have any suggestions. You might have some suggestions, to chuck down there in the comments, so feel free to let me know. And of course, if you're going to enjoy the video, it would be awesome if you could drop a like on it. It takes 2 seconds, especially during this time. So the first thing, we're not going to go in necessarily the order that they talked about it in the panel and some other stuff in regards to this. I've just got some stuff noted down here, so we'll just go over it in the order that I wrote it down, I guess. So the first thing is that, of course, in the Stargirl, well, I guess Stargirl Season 1 as a whole, but specifically the finale, we had Grundy show up. So we'd seen Grundy in little bits and pieces throughout Season 1, throughout 3 or 4 episodes or something, but we hadn't seen him in his full form out of the cage or in detail, just standing there. We saw him in the Season 1 finale, and of course at the end he wasn't destroyed, he wasn't defeated, we can't really kill him, but he wasn't locked back up or anything. He just walked off, Rick or Hourman just let him walk off. So we're sitting there going, okay, does that mean he's gonna be coming back? Are they setting up so he can come back? And at the fandom panel, Geoff Johns was able to confirm that Solomon Grundy is not gone yet, and he actually went into a bit more detail and said that him and Cameron Gelman, who plays Rick, actually know what's happening there. So the actor who plays Rick knows sort of what's going to be happening with Grundy in Season 2, but we didn't know, we didn't get that revealed to us. I don't know if the actual rest of the cast know, if it's just up to, it's just Cameron who plays Rick that knows. That'll be interesting. Obviously, I think Grundy overall looked fairly good CGI. Just when they closed, they did the close-up of his face, I was like, ooh, that's not amazing, but the rest was really, really good. So it'll be interesting to see what he's like in Season 2 and in what, I don't want to say context, but I guess that's a way to put it, but just in what way they use him and just what storyline and stuff. They said there's going to be a storyline there, so I'm intrigued to see what they do there with Solomon Grundy, because I think a lot of people like the character. Now, Green Lantern is something that, was brought up a lot in Season 1 for obvious reasons. Alan Scott's Green Lantern was there, obviously there's photos of him in the JSA and everything like that. And people wondering what's going to happen next with that. Courtney got the lantern from the JSA headquarters. She easily could have left it behind. So surely you're going to do something with that Green Lantern, or, the battery for the Green Lantern. Now, in the panel, it was discussed that Green Lantern is something that the cast want to see explored. But Geoff Johns remained tight-lipped. He's not a big dude who gives away spoilers, and obviously we're so far away from Season 2 even airing on screen. We're probably not going to get it till May or June at the earliest next year by the sounds of it. So we're still a while away from Season 2, so I wouldn't spoil it there. But it seems that it's something that they're going to do. He was saying in interviews, about, that final half of Season 1, that the Green Lantern will lead somewhere. It's just that there's no point to rush it because there's other storylines to go over. So it is going to be interesting to see how they do it as a whole with the show, because obviously you can go down the route where maybe it is Jade, who is obviously Alan Scott's daughter. Maybe Alan Scott himself shows up. Who knows what they do, or it's just in flashbacks we see Green Lantern and the battery is used in some other way, or it has another storyline connected to it. That doesn't necessarily mean someone that harnesses its power appears on the show. Who knows what they're going to do, but we've been told that the Green Lantern is going to lead somewhere. There's some story around it. So it's pretty much a wait and watch and just, find out situation. But I'm excited to see what they do, because there are a couple of different, possibilities. But there's also a lot of other stuff that they have to do on the show that they've already set up. So who knows what they're going to do. But yeah, I think, I love Green Lantern as a character, whether it is Hal Jordan, Alan Scott, John Stewart, anything like that. So I'm just excited to see what they do with just that realm of the show. Now, of course, Eclipso was set up in the Season 1 finale. We, of course, saw Shiv find the Black Diamond and stuff like that. And obviously he's in there. Now it is going to be interesting to see what happens with him in regards to what characters he's associated with directly, whether he takes them over or just works with him and various things like that. But Eclipso was very important. That's all Jeff Johns would really say on the whole Eclipso thing. He just said pretty much introducing Eclipso was a very important thing. Eclipso in the comics has some very important things to do with certain characters on the show. I'm not too sure if they're going to go down that route. I'm sure most of you just be able to Google Eclipso and see what those relations are. I don't know what they're going to do necessarily with him. It matters in what way they represent him and just the interpretation of the character in general. But when that tease or cliffhanger or setup, whatever you want to call it, was introduced in the season 1 finale, I got pretty excited. So I am just very intrigued to see what they do there as a whole with the character. Because it could get pretty dark, who knows. Now, one little fun thing, which I was like, okay, that's pretty fun, was Hootie the Owl. Hootie the Owl, is the Dr. Midnight's owl. We saw Hootie in, I think it was it episode 3? I think it was the end of episode 3 at the JSA headquarters. Now, it was said that Hootie the Owl will be addressed in season 2 because Dr. Midnight as a character is a big question mark heading into season 2 because obviously in the season 1 finale, the goggles were destroyed. So what does she do as a character? What's Beth's storyline in season 2? Is it fixing those goggles? Is it finding another way to be Dr. Midnight? Who knows what they're going to do? It'd be cool if Hootie played a part in that in some sort of reassurance role to Beth. But it might be her becoming her own Dr. Midnight, not just being, the person who has Chuck's goggles. She actually becomes her own proper Dr. Midnight and harnesses the role and makes it a bit unique in her own way. So that might be a storyline for Beth in season 2, or maybe Hootie plays a role there. I think it could be difficult to do the whole owl thing, just because that might require a lot of time and patience. But maybe they could have one episode where Hootie plays a role with Dr. Midnight, but who knows what they're going to do there, but we'll have to wait and see. One thing that was confirmed, even though I don't think it was too much of a surprise because they sort of set it up in the finale, was that there will be more Stargirl and Shiv. There's going to be that rivalry going on in season 2, which isn't too surprising. As I said, they could easily keep Shiv on the show as a recurring just general threat for Stargirl and I guess the entire JSA, but specifically Stargirl or Courtney as a character. They could keep doing that. They could just make her arch enemy and she just does show up every now and then, or just consistently throughout every single season. They could do that if they wanted to. It works, I think, in my opinion. It's just one of those things that works, one of those villains to a character where them showing up a lot, it just continuously works. It wouldn't get too old unless she's in every single episode versus Stargirl. Then that would get old. But if it's just consistently showing up, then it'd be fine. So I'm excited to see what they do, especially because of the Eclipso setup. Shade coming into town. Does Shiv go with the other old ISA members and the Shade now? Or is she on her own doing her own thing with Eclipso? Gonna be intriguing to see or interesting to find out. There's a couple of different ways I could go with it, but I'm looking forward to it regardless. Now, the pink Thunderbolt pen, that was sitting there. We saw the pen only a few times in the season, but people have been asking about it. Where's the Thunderbolt pen? And it was one thing that was brought up a lot, or mainly in the panel for some focus, and that was what's happening with the pink Thunderbolt pen. And it was said that it will be further addressed in season 2. Of course, we had the Jakeem being name dropped by Mike and various things like that. Of course, Jakeem Thunder should be the person who gets it, but they could go to a different route. They could surprise us. Who knows what they're going to do there? It could be a very overpowered character potentially to have on the show unless they do it in a very interesting way. But I don't think you'd have the Thunderbolt pen there. And as I said, it's similar to the Green Lantern thing. She wouldn't have taken it from the JSA headquarters if there wasn't going to be anything done with it. So who knows? I don't think they want to rush into it too much because there is some other stuff to go on. But, I think that's something that we could definitely see play out in the back half of season 2. And, it wouldn't surprise me too much if we get a casting announcement for someone playing Jakeem Williams, who obviously then becomes Jakeem Thunder. So, we'll have to keep our eyes and ears out for that. But speaking about keeping our eyes and ears out for something, New York Comic Con, there's going to be a virtual con just because, hashtag Corona, just like we had the San Diego Comic Con virtual thing. There's going to be a New York Comic Con version as well. And at the moment, Stargirl has a panel. It's pretty much the exact same lineup from Fandom, except they're swapping out Amy Smart, who plays Barbara, and they're bringing in Meg DeLacy, who plays Cindy or Shiv. So they're taking out Barbara, putting in Shiv. I think it's in October. I think when it is. I think that's usually when New York Comic Con is on, so I'd assume the virtual thing is on at the exact same time or around the same time. I'm assuming we'll get some sort of announcement properly, but they announced it, sorry, but I think we'll get like a schedule, if you know what I mean, with everything. And I don't know if any of the other DC TV shows, or at least Arrowverse shows, are having panels there. They'd be filming, everyone will be filming at that point, so there might not be time. But Stargirl, as I said, will be starting to film later, probably not till next year, so they have time to do this virtual panel. And at that panel, hopefully we get more information, maybe casting, that would be very, very cool. Or just at least more info that we got from Fandom, because where we got from Fandom, or what we got from Fandom was actually recorded about almost like 2 months prior, just because of the delays and everything like that. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see what happens there with that New York Comic-Con virtual panel, but I'll probably make a video before it if they're, you know, in regards to like when it's happening and everything like that. But to finish off, Jeff Johns was actually just asked about just Stargirl in general and like what he's most excited for season 2, and this is what he said. You know what the best thing about this is? I'm just so excited we get to do season 2 with everybody, because we do get so many other things to explore with these characters and other avenues in the world to meet and introduce. We'll do it the best way we can, and we'll do it at our own pace. But we'll definitely be playing with things like the pink pen in season 2. I love you guys. It's been the best experience of my life. I'm excited to spend more time with you. So that was pretty much one of the last things that Jeff said in the panel. But yeah, that's pretty much all to go over from the Stargirl fandom panel and the other stuff that was announced. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, it'd be awesome if you could drop a like on it to show support. Let me know in the comments section down below your various opinions while we went over. And of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. And yeah, I'll catch you guys later. Goodbye.